Hello, I am Aaron Levin, Grinnell College class of 2014, men's basketball alum, former men's basketball assistant coach. I'm sitting here today. It is my absolute pleasure to be with my former teammate, Jack Taylor. Jack played basketball at Grinnell from 2012 to 2015. He still holds 6 NCAA records for all divisions, most notably the record he set when he scored 138 points in a game against Faith Baptist Bible College on November 20th, 2012. Can't believe it, Jack. We are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of that game. I feel old. But Jack, does it feel like it was just 10 years ago?
Well, first of all, Aaron, you look old. Second of all, you nailed that intro. Good job. No, it doesn't feel like 10 years. I just went back to Grinnell, and we can talk about that in a bit probably. But right when I got back to campus, right when I got back to Darby, it felt like I had never left. But then I looked at my right and my left, and I have a wife and 2 kids. And so it must be 10 years because something happened between now and then. You and I are old.
Yes, not just me, pal. It's the both of us. We're both old. Yes, yes. So we just watched those highlights from that game. The links below for our viewers, just incredible. People ask me all the time, what was it like? And I tell my response is, it's the closest I've ever felt to being in the middle of a video game. What does it feel like for you watching those highlights?
Yeah, so we just watched some highlights of the game from a vantage point I don't think I've ever seen before. And also it was live audio from Rob Stork, who was a Grinnell student too. And it was really exciting. It was fun watching it. Believe it or not, Levin, I don't watch these every day. So I haven't seen these in years. And just to relive that moment again, 10 years later, yeah, it was absolutely fun to be a part of. And like you say, it was a real life video game. How a lot of people who play video games, they shoot with one guy every single time just to see how many points can I put up with, Steph Curry if I shoot every time on 2K. And you and I played for a coach who was crazy enough to make that happen in real life.
Just incredible and remarkable, the sense of accomplishment that goes into some of those games. Speaking of our coach that we both love, Coach A, can you tell us a little bit more about the game plan that he had set up for that game? Was it really the plan for you to just score that many points?
Yeah, so going into the game, we had an opening tournament. So that was the third game where I scored all those points. The 2 games prior, I had shot horrible. We won a tournament at Wartburg, but I think I shot like 19% from 3. And so coaches weren't sure if I could hit some of the shots that I was taking because, a lot of my pull-up threes for a lot of players is tough. And for me, I had worked on them. That was really a big part of my game. But as a transfer coming into Grinnell College, they weren't sure if that was a good shot. And so coming into the game, they gave me the first 10 minutes of play. So it wasn't like, hey, we're going to break an NCAA record tonight. It was like, hey, Jack needs to get going before we head into conference play. Let's get his shot going, his confidence going. He has the first 10 minutes to try to score 20 points. If he doesn't score 20 points, we're going to change our game plan, maybe feature Griffin Lynch, maybe play some goon ball and find, break a team record or something like that. So yeah, going into the game, we knew I was going to get shots, but we weren't gunning for any sort of individual record.
No, but that was to me that it was a great game. And I remember you and I actually have an unofficial NCAA record, has yet to be officially acknowledged.
Wait, you have an NCAA record?
No, us together. Well, you have this record because of me as well.
True.
You're welcome. You just add it to your list of NCAA records. Together, we scored 151 points. You're welcome. I did the heavy lifting. So it is unofficially the most points scored by 2 teammates in a single game. So after that game, I remember bringing you dinner in Ted Schultz's office, the sports information director. You were doing a ton of national press that night. I don't think you went to bed until about 3:30 or 4 a.m. You were on ESPN, Good Morning America, The Today Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Your name was mentioned by NBA players in interviews. You were trending on Twitter. So what was that like, and which part meant the most to you?
Yeah, for me, it was just a lot of fun. At the time, I kind of realized, contextually what that meant for me, what that meant for a program. And I knew that I would never get this type of press again. And so I just enjoyed it. I didn't expect it to ever happen again. I knew I wasn't going to play at a high level professionally, but that we were able to accomplish something pretty special at the Division III level in the NCAA. And so I enjoyed it. Some of the memories that I look back on and I laugh at is one is with Jimmy Kimmel. Because all those interviews had the same question, like, all the standard questions. What was it like? What were your teammates like? All the standard questions. Every answer was the same for me. Going into the Jimmy Kimmel Live, there was no mess ups. There was no redos. There was no retakes. And right before I went into Coach A's office, Coach A looked at me because he wasn't there during the interview. He said, "Jimmy's going to eat you alive." And I was already nervous. And so that just made me super nervous. And Jimmy asked me some really hard questions. The hardest question was, he said, "Hey, Wilt, you broke Wilt Chamberlain's record, who scored 100, but Wilt also claimed to have slept with 10,000 women. How close are you to that record?" And like, he didn't brief me. Like, this was live in the office. He just hit me with that question, and I like stuttered a little bit. My reputation's on the line here. Like, I just said, I'm really, really far away. Everyone got a good chuckle. I think it was the perfect answer, but that was a scary interview. And to your last question, I think one of the things that was most meaningful for me was I grew up idolizing Kobe Bryant. His work ethic, his drive, his love for the game are things that drew me towards him. And so when he was able to talk about the game and talk about our performance and my performance and say that it was, he talked about it in a positive light when sometimes we got some criticism. And so for him to talk about me and my performance, that was just the cherry on the top. It meant so much. But through it all, I was just trying to make, people around me proud, which I hope I did.
Hey, didn't someone ask you for your socks from that game?
Totally. Yeah, they did. Dan Patrick did.
That's right. That's what
he asked me for my shoes, but at the time, those were my only game shoes. Like, I didn't have multiple pairs of shoes. Like, we're poor Division III kids. Like, and so I didn't send him it. He wanted the ball. We didn't have the ball. So we sent him a pair of socks. And apparently those stinky socks are hanging in an office. But for this interview for you, Levin, look what I brought out. This is from my attic, and this is the true game ball.
Wow.
They have a ball on display at Grinnell. I think there's a ball in the Naismith Hall of Fame. So if we want to, we can say this is the second half ball. Maybe one of those were the first half ball. But this ball, the day after, it was in practice. Brent Lemoyne, our former teammate, rest in peace, he was kind enough to keep the game ball. He kept it in his locker, and then the next day gave it to me and said, "Hey, Jack, this is the true game ball from last night." Isn't that amazing?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. I miss that guy, Brent. Miss him.
Totally.
Man. It says so much about the kind of person he was and the kind of teammate he was. And
yep.
No, I didn't know that part, but that's special. That's awesome.
Totally.
So a couple more questions here. You played one season at University of Wisconsin at lacrosse before transferring to Grinnell. Could you talk about what made you decide to transfer to attend Grinnell?
Yeah, for me, it was just I wasn't having fun playing college basketball. It was my freshman year at UW lacrosse, and I just wasn't having fun. And I had said no to playing for Grinnell twice before that. And just because it was a different style of play that I wasn't sure I would have fun playing in. But then after playing at UW lacrosse and not having fun, I remember wanting to go play for Grinnell just for the fact they played and they had fun. You saw the bench, you saw the coaches, you saw the environment, you saw the culture, and it just looked fun. It looked different. And I couldn't have been more right in making that transfer, because despite all the records, despite what we accomplished record-wise, it was the most fun I had ever had playing the game of basketball. I think you can probably attest to that. And, you know, we never made it to the NCAA tournament. Like, we never accomplished some team goals that maybe we had wanted to. But still, looking back, there's no regrets, because it was just so much stinking fun.
So, hey, I heard you came back to campus a few weeks ago. You went undercover at an open gym with the current men's basketball team. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's been 7 years since I graduated back in 2015. And I'd been back to campus once. I think it was the year after I graduated. And I haven't been back since. You know, it's been the pandemic in between then. And so I went back for the first time in like 6 years. And right now what I do is I run my own video production business. And so what I did is I came back to Grinnell, played an open gym with the current players in Darby, but I put a mask on, a COVID mask, and I wore kind of a ridiculous outfit so that they wouldn't know who I am. And I played undercover. None of the guys knew who I was. I brought a camera, and so someone filmed, you know, me making some shots, and it was just a lot of fun. Coach A was there. He did the reveal probably halfway in between the open gym. A couple of the guys had known that it was me just from my shop form, is a little bit unique, and just seeing old videos. But probably more than half the guys had no idea. And so when I ripped that mask off and they saw it was me, and it made for some fun content and some fun reactions. And I hit some shots as well. And so I'm 32 now. I was scared that I would go in there and just stink up the place. I hit a couple shots. I was definitely out of shape, but had a blast playing with the guys. And I'm really looking forward to editing that video and making some content around it, because it was a blast.
That's awesome. That's great. No, I'm looking forward to that video too. I heard about it. Coach Dave, Coach DJ called me, let me know that was happening. Coach Dave said we had this whole plan in place before Eli Manning did his Chad Powers thing at Penn State. So you're not a copycat. That did happen.
Right.
That wasn't arranged. Yeah, he stole your thunder a little bit with that idea. No, that sounds like an awesome experience. I'm looking forward to seeing the footage. Alumni weekend, this weekend, I'm heading back. I know you can't make it this year, but I'm heading down to Grinnell tomorrow. Get to go up and down a little bit, those current guys in our alumni game on Saturday afternoon. So really looking forward to getting back to campus. But Jack, that's it for us. We're out of time today. Great catching up with you. So much fun going down memory lane. And I hope we get the chance to do this again soon, maybe in your home state, maybe on your podcast.
It's been 10 years since we scored 138 together. Well, 151 together, you and I. And looking back on it, all I can say is thank you to you. You were a team captain. Thank you to my teammates, because it was a team effort, especially at halftime when Coach A came in the locker room and said, now we're gunning for an NCAA record. The whole team rallied together. We got fired up. And so without the great teammates that I had, none of this would have been possible. And so this is a moment that we can all share together.